c'est le pain du jour. For today's loaf of bread, we give thanks to Manly P. Hall, who says the following. It has been said that wisdom lies not in seeing things, but in seeing through things. Now that's an interesting way of putting it, don't you think? In the past, I've talked about how wisdom is the ability to see clearly and feel deeply. Here, Manly P. Hall offers an alternative definition that I think is equally valid. He says wisdom is not seeing things, but rather seeing through things, which to me is sort of indicating a depth of vision. Now, of course, even though he uses the word see, I think what he is referring to is perception. Not necessarily what we perceive with our eyes, but the sum total of perception. Like when someone tells you something and you understand and you go, I see. You don't actually see with your eyes. This is a different kind of vision. A different way of putting it would be to say that wisdom isn't just perceiving things, but perceiving the essence of things. Seeing through the superficial appearances down to the essence or the fundamental. Now that's just me retooling the quote for my own purposes. Maybe I'm just reading it the way I want to read it because that's the way it makes sense to me. But if you have a different interpretation, I'd love to hear it. In any case, we can all agree that wisdom is different from knowledge and even understanding, though I think understanding is one step closer to wisdom than knowledge is. The point is that wisdom is often referred to in philosophy, spirituality, and so on, but it's rarely defined. All we know is that it's a quality worth pursuing. It's a quality worth embodying. But beyond that, no one really tells us what it looks, feels, or sounds like, beyond a handful of writers and teachers throughout history. Lao Tzu says that you can't even describe wisdom. All you can do is describe the wise. That's when he talks about how they're prudent, like somebody crossing an icy river. How they are clear like a glass of water. How they are open like the sky. All these different analogies to convey what a wise person looks, sounds, and feels like. Because wisdom is one of those wiggly little terms that is notoriously difficult to define. Now, I think that Manly Hall here, he hits a few birds with a single stone with this quote, because if you look at the Hindu Vedantic traditions, you know, like the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads, they describe wisdom as discrimination or discernment. And I think that what Manly Hall describes here is quite in line with that. To discern between potentially valid facts and potentially invalid ones. In order to do this, you have to be able to see past the superficial. You have to see through things. So, again, it aligns quite nicely with what Manly Hall is saying. It kind of encompasses many different definitions of wisdom. And remember, there's nothing supernatural or difficult about wisdom. It's not hard to find. It exists in all of us. The source of wisdom is deep in the center of your being. And if you find that center, you can tap into the wisdom. It's that simple. There's no course. There's no degree. There's no webinar. It's just there. And when you tap into it, you see things for what they truly are. Or at least things start to look more like they really are. I don't know that you can ever see things as they truly are, but you can get damn close. And wisdom is the light that allows you to do that. Otherwise, you're looking at a dimly lit room and you're being fooled by shadows. You need the light of wisdom to dispel all the shadows and reveal the room for what it truly is. Anyway, that's all I got for this quote. So as you make your way through the day, try to remember to not only look at things, but to also try and look through them to their core or essence, which is in all likelihood very different from the surface level appearance. Until next time, live well.